You save it.
No, you buy stuff with it.
I put it in my piggy bank.
You can like buy a house.
Save it to buy a car.
Give it to charity. Save it for college. Put them in the bank.
It won't always be new. It won't always be clean. It won't always be flawless. But it'll always be yours. So how do you know it'll be protected? To solve the big challenges of tomorrow, take simple steps today. When you're ready to start, we're ready to help with auto insurance. Get started at countryfinancial.com/simplesteps.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. You're just standing there literally watching everything that you knew as your childhood, just the love in your home, and it's just going up in flames and there's nothing you can do about it.
I asked her, in the event that there was a tragedy or something happened, how would they rebuild? What would they do? And I think that's when it registered with her that they wouldn't be able to.
My parents had no mortgage, so they thought they needed no insurance. This was the time that we needed it. I just would have never dreamed. Thank goodness for Judy. She convinced me that we needed homeowners insurance. The morning after the fire, I called Judy. And she's like, you don't worry about a thing.
So I got up to the Ramey household. I sat with her mom, and she cried. I cried. But I told her that things were going to be okay. Country would take care of her.
Judy and Country Financial were 100% put into our lives for a reason. We could have never afforded to build back another home like Country Financial has built, and I'm so thankful for that, truly. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are back live on GMAP1 Internet Radio. And the last time we talked, we were ending our auto insurance talk. And I promised you we'd come back and talk about life insurance for at least the month of August. So wanted to go ahead and open up with a commercial that has been prepared by Country Financial for life insurance. Because we know that every driver is different. Oh, I'm sorry, this is the auto one, I'm sorry. Skip the fancy coffee 3 days a week, pack your lunch for work, lower your cable bill. Small steps like these can have a big impact on your family's future by helping you save money to purchase a Country Financial insurance policy. Life insurance doesn't have to be difficult. When you're ready to start, call Cheryl Williams because she is ready to help you. Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. For cost and complete coverage details, contact Cheryl Williams. All right, so that's just to let you know that if you are interested or would like more information about life insurance, today we're going to talk about it, but I actually am licensed to sell it, so we offer all kinds of life policies with Country, so, you know, whatever your need is, I'm sure we can help and meet that need. My office number, I'll put that out there, is 847-231-1220. Or my cell phone is 630-217-2759. Or you can email me at cheryl.r.williams@countryfinancial.com. You're on GMAP Radio, gmap.com, gmap1.com. And if you click on the Country logo, you'll be taken straight to my website for Country Financial, where you can put your information and request a quote. So that's an easy way to get in touch with me. All right, so that's the contact information. And we're going to go ahead and just jump into why you need life insurance. Life insurance is one of those topics that people either are familiar with it, know a little bit about it, or they don't want to talk about it at all. Something about facing the end of our life and not really wanting to talk about the end that makes people uncomfortable. However, as an adult, you need to really plan for yourself, for your family, so that people are not at your end left wondering what's next. It's really important to put a plan together, and life insurance is just a part of that plan, but it's an important piece. Life insurance is designed to protect your family and other people who may be depending on you for financial support. It pays a death benefit to the beneficiary of the life policy, and whether you have one beneficiary or many, you can designate who that is going to be. And you want to make sure that your beneficiaries are updated regularly because things change, life change, people change. So you want to make sure that you don't have beneficiaries on your life policy that are no longer valid. You want to make sure that's kept up to date. Nothing more embarrassing than a life insurance check being sent to someone who no longer is supposed to be receiving it, and the person who should doesn't get it. So I want to make sure you do that. Over the years, life insurance has also evolved to provide options for building wealth or tax-free investments, and you always like to be very careful. Life insurance is not an investment vehicle. However, there is financial growth that happens in certain life policies that can help you with your retirement planning, and having additional funding for things that you need. So who needs life insurance? Is it only for people who have a family to support? When should you buy life insurance? We're going to go through questions like these, common scenarios of life insurance. It's a good idea to buy based on different situations. So we're going to put out some different examples for you, so that you can decide if you fit in any of these little scenarios, and then decide if it's a good time to contact your financial advisor or myself, as a financial insurance advisor. I can help you decide what would be the best plan for you. So we're going to look at these options. Do I need life insurance if I have no dependents? There are instances where life insurance can be beneficial even if you have no dependents, the most basic of which is covering your own funeral expenses. There's many other reasons too, but just covering that really sets yourself up for your final end to be one that is honorable for yourself, and that you're not forcing others to come up with funding that is going to stress them, but you've already provided for yourself. There are many other reasons too. Here's some guidelines to help you decide if a life insurance is the right choice for you. I know people that I've talked to in the past who say, I'm funding all of the things that a life insurance policy would provide. I'm funding that out of my own money, my own resources. Well, not everyone can do that, and not everybody is financially situated to do that. So life insurance is a way to obtain what you need at a reasonable cost, whether it's monthly or whether you just pay the policy in full. There's ways to pay it so that you can afford it. But there are people who need to be able to stretch out the premium so that they can afford it, and at the end have something that they can rely on and their beneficiaries can rely on. So without dependence, just make sure that you're providing for yourself. What stage of life should you buy a life insurance policy? The first thing you need to know in terms of stage of life is that the younger you are when you purchase a life policy and the healthier you are, the less expensive that policy is going to be. So I always encourage people, young people, I encourage parents to buy them for their children at a very young age. Certain policies that you purchase, the cost of that insurance, the premium, does not go up. It stays locked in. And if it's at a very young age, a very low premium, that premium is what that person will pay, as long as the policy is enforced. So you want to look at doing that. Do it as young as possible, and especially when your health is good and you don't have to have a lot of underwriting of your health, doctors, medical records, drugs, all of that. Do it when you're young and healthy. The best life insurance choice for you is going to depend on, why do you want the policy? Are you looking to build, like I said, cash value growth? Are you looking to protect certain assets? Some people purchase life insurance to cover the cost of a house, the mortgage, in case they, for whatever reason, are no longer in the picture and the family needs to continue to pay the mortgage. The life policy will help protect that asset, provide for your family. Oftentimes when we leave this life, we leave debt, we leave other obligations, and our family then is left to pick up the bag and continue paying on certain things. A life policy that will help provide for your family in those instances. There's also, for children, their future. If you want to provide for your children's college education, a life policy is a good thing to have in place so that in your absence, those college plans, don't go out the window. Your children can continue to plan for their college education. Life insurance can be used for various things. What is your situation? What is it that you're dealing with right now? What's your scenario? Do you live in an apartment? So you don't really have a mortgage. So I really don't have very many assets. So what is it that I'm protecting? What is it that I'm covering? Well, your position today hopefully is not your position going forward in the future. So literally, it's a piece that you put in your puzzle for the future. And that life policy can be in place for things that you have down the road. What stage of life are you in? Do you have kids? Are you in school? Are you starting a new business? Are you buying a home? Are you getting married? These are questions that you should stop and think, my life is getting ready to take a turn, it's getting ready to take a change. Do I have the proper insurances in place, especially the life insurance, that will cover this change of my life? How old are you? Is it time for you to be considering a life policy, or are you at the age where I wonder how much I could actually get because I'm retired or I'm nearing retirement? Honestly, when you're getting towards retirement years, your policies are going to be a little bit more costly than when you're in your 20s or in your 30s. At any rate, if you have a need, that's something that an agent like myself can help you with. We can give you a quote and just help you figure out what can you afford and give you some options. Now, 10 different situations, different ways that you can use a life policy. These are certain people that would need life at different stages and would want to buy a life policy. This list is going to help you consider the various reasons why you would want to purchase a life policy and help you figure out if it's time for you to begin that search. Like I said, I can assist you with that. Any financial advisor can point you in the right direction. The first scenario, you're beginning a new family. Life insurance should be purchased if you're considering starting a family. Your rates are going to be cheaper now than when you get older, and your future children will be depending on your income. And so you want to protect not only your income, but also what plans you have for your children. So there is a calculation that we can help you with to help you figure out how much life insurance you need, what exactly is that number, that financial figure that you're trying to protect for yourself and for your family. Real important to have that number. The second thing you want to look at is families that are established. Your family is depending on you to provide for their needs going into the future. So this does not include only the spouse or the partner that you are living with, who's possibly working outside of the home, but life insurance also needs to be considered for the person who is working in the home. A lot of times the homemaker, the person who is not working, is left out of the thinking. But that person also needs to be considered for a life policy, even though they're working at home, keeping the costs of living down for your family, but the cost of replacing someone like that who has been in the home doing the domestic work that you've been taking for granted, a home budget, childcare, just watching everything about your home. Would that person, if that person were to be taken out of your picture, how would you replace them? What would you do? And how much would it cost to bring in childcare, to bring in someone to take care of your home? What would it cost to replace that person? So your life insurance policy does need to be considered for that person, that homemaker. So the third thing that we want to look at is young single adults. A lot of times they don't feel like they have much to protect or much to worry about, but a young single adult would typically need life insurance to pay first for their own funeral costs, Or if they help support an elderly parent or another person they may be caring for, they need to think about financially supporting that person ongoing. So you may also consider purchasing a life insurance policy while you're young so that by the time you need it, you don't have to pay more because of your age. The older that you get, the more expensive the life policy becomes, and you're at risk for being refused if there's other like physical problems, even financial problems that you're having could cause you to be turned down for a life policy later on in your life. So really, the smart, sensible thing to do is purchase a life policy when you're younger, when it's less expensive, and when you have less problems and less issues that you have to deal with. There's also policies that require a physical exam. So if you have certain diagnoses and certain conditions that you're being treated for, certain medications that you take, you don't want that to be a hindrance to you for getting approved for a life policy. So if you're young, single, adult, and you're healthy, you need to think about getting a life policy in place now at a low cost that will stay in place for you for when you need it. Otherwise, if you have other sources of money for a funeral and you have no other person that depends on you for income, then life insurance may not be the choice for you. But like I said, that's very few and far between in terms of people. Your fourth scenario would be the homeowner and people with mortgages or other debts. So if you're planning on buying a home with a mortgage, you're going to be asked if you want to purchase mortgage insurance. Buying life insurance policy that would cover your mortgage debt would protect the interest and avoid you're having to buy extra mortgage insurance when you buy your first home. So the people who are advising you on purchasing your home, they're going to ask you if you would like a policy, which is a life insurance policy that just covers the mortgage. And, you know, that's something you want to consider doing. It's different than the homeowner's insurance policy that helps cover everything about the home. It's different than the PMI, which is this insurance that covers the bank or the lender's loan to you to purchase a home. That's different insurance too. So a mortgage is your obligation, even once you are no longer in the picture, you still have the mortgage that needs to be paid, and that's where you need to purchase life insurance plan that would cover that. Life insurance can be a way of securing your debts are paid off if you pass away. If you die with debts and no way for your estate to pay them, your assets and everything that you worked hard for will be lost because probate will cause your assets to be sold so that your debt can be paid off. So your beneficiaries or those you leave behind, thinking they're going to be receiving an inheritance, may not, because your inheritance may need to be sold to pay off your debt. So you want to think about legacy. What are you leaving behind? If you have debt, then you need a policy that's going to pay that debt off. Instead, your estate may be left to pay the debt, and that can be passed on to your heirs. The fifth thing, non-child working couples. So a working couple who they don't have children, both the people in this situation would need to decide if they want life insurance. If both persons are bringing an income that they feel is a comfortable living, and alone they could live on their income minus the partner, then life insurance may not be what they need. However, they do need to cover funeral costs, so at least a small policy in place to cover funeral expenses. Maybe in some instances, one working spouse contributes more of the income than the other. You want to leave the significant other in a better financial position. As long as you're purchasing a life policy that wouldn't be a financial burden, you want to be able to provide for that other partner who may need a little extra if you're no longer in the picture. For a low-cost life insurance option, you want to look into term life policy. We'll talk about that next week. Consider, different other options that are inexpensive that you can pay quickly so that the policy is in place and you're not continuing to pay an ongoing premium. So, you want to look at different options there. You don't want an ongoing premium payment that's just becoming a burden to your finances and your budget. The sixth thing, people who have life insurance through their employer, through their work. If you have life insurance through your employer, you should still buy your own life insurance policy that is a permanent or a term policy that's your own. It's not attached to your employer. The reason that you should never only rely on your employer's life insurance policy is that you could lose your job. You could be laid off. The company could be sold. It could fold. You could decide to change your job. And once you do that, you lose the life policy that you had in place at your employer. And it's not strategically sound to leave your life insurance in the hands of your employer. The older that you get, the more expensive your life insurance becomes. You're better off, buying a small backup policy to make sure you always have some life insurance in place, even if you lose or change jobs. The seventh thing that we want to look at is a business partners and business owners. Before I do that, let me give you another commercial here on life insurance. There's different types. So we want to give you a commercial right now on term life insurance. Did you know that life insurance is more affordable than you think? A small step like packing your lunch for 3 work days a week could go towards the cost of a term life policy from Country Financial. We want to help you turn I can't afford life insurance into I can start protecting my family today. Call Cheryl Williams at 630-217-2759 or 847-231-1220 to get started. Life insurance policies are issued by Country Life Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. Cost per policy will vary. I just wanted to give you that little commercial there for term life, and we'll talk about that more next time. So for the business partner or the business owners, if you have a business partner or own a business and there are people who rely on you, you can consider purchasing a separate life insurance policy for the purpose of your business obligations. And normally that's called key man insurance, so that if you, the key person, is no longer in the picture, there's still finances there to help the business continue. And I think if you're a business owner, you would like your business to continue. And so a life insurance policy, just for that reason, put in place will protect the legacy of your business. The eighth thing that you want to look at is buying life insurance on your parents. Most people don't think of this as a strategy, but it's also, it's been used and it can be a smart thing to do. Life insurance on your parents secures a death benefit to you if you put yourself as a beneficiary on the policy that you take out for your parents. If you are paying their premiums, you will want to make sure you make yourself an irrevocable beneficiary to secure your investment. This is why a way when parents die, you secure the amount of the life insurance policy. You do this while your parents are young enough. It may be financially a sound investment because you're paying a lower premium. And if you also want to protect your own financial stability by looking at buying a long-term care policy for your parents as well, or suggesting that they look into it, often when parents fall ill or they get older, the financial burden on the children is enormous. So these two options may provide financial protection that you might not have otherwise thought of. I do also provide and can sit down and talk to you about the appropriate long-term care policy that either you would need to put in place for yourself or for your parents. Okay, and so the ninth thing we want to look at is life insurance for children. And most people would suggest that children don't need life insurance. But I make a case for life insurance for children. I have policies on my grandchildren, and the different types of policies that you can put in place will, again, like I said, have cash value growing in those policies where your children or grandchildren can actually borrow on the policy if they run into a situation where they would need some funding, new car, new home, college. These are different things that the cash value growth in a life policy can provide. So if you think that children don't need life insurance because they don't have dependents, that's not the only reason to have the policy. And in the event of their death, although it would be devastating, the life insurance policy would go to you as the beneficiary. So you don't want to think about that. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does happen that the children precede the parent in death. No one wants to really think about that, but there is a cost. There are costs involved for the funeral and so forth. So, it's just a wise thing to do. Like I said, it also sets your child up getting a policy when they're young and healthy, or when they're older, they no longer have to satisfy health exams or requirements, and they have a policy that's in place for them that they're paying a very low premium rate for, and they will thank you for that later on in their life. 3 reasons to buy life insurance for children. Number 1, if you worry about your children eventually getting an illness, and this can happen too. I've seen situations where children come down with a condition, a disease, heart or cancer or something that no one expects to happen, but it happens. But that diagnosis then renders that child potentially unable to purchase a life policy. So you want to purchase a policy while your children are healthy. If you know there are some hereditary risks in your family, and there's a possibility of a certain condition coming upon your children, well, then you want to do things that are prudent. Get a policy in place so that they have that coverage, and that later on in life they're not uninsurable, and they'll have to worry then about what they're going to do. Do them a favor and get a policy in place for them now. Some people look at critical illness insurance for children as well. There are policies that can provide for critical illness, cancer, heart, stroke, and you could have those policies again in place in advance. But when they do fall ill, then there's a policy there to help provide for the care, the medical bills, and so forth. Some people purchase, number 2, life insurance for children as they reach early adulthood to help them get a head start on life. Permanent life insurance may be the way to build savings for them, give them an opportunity to have a life insurance policy that pays for itself by the time they have a family of their own, or if they want to use the cash portion to borrow against for major purchases. Life insurance for children may be purchased as a gift to them. So again, you're looking down the road. You're not looking at today and thinking, oh, they're children, they don't need it. Look further down the road when they would need it, and what would they need. The third reason here, if you want to receive some sort of death benefit to help deal with the death of a child and cover funeral expenses if something were to happen to them, the loss of a child, although devastating, there still needs to be some financial support. They play an important role in the family. Their loss can have effects on many levels. The loss may make it very difficult for you to work, for instance. You may suffer financial losses because you are having a hard time getting back to work. May require some psychological help, counseling, whatever. That would require help with the surviving children. There's just different reasons why you need some extra funding in place. And so rather than waiting for the inevitable, why don't we plan for it? Children, for the most part, don't need life insurance, but if it's a part of a strategy, life insurance for children may be something for you to consider for the above 3 reasons that we just talked about. Always weigh the option of the above reasons with the other possibilities of savings or insurance you can consider for your kids. Now, we're down to number 10, which is life insurance in retirement or in your senior years. So as long as you do not have people depending on you for your income for their support, purchasing a new life insurance policy at this stage, when you're at retirement age, may not be necessary unless you do not have any other means to pay for your funeral expenses or you decide you want to leave money as a legacy. However, at this stage in life, when you're at retirement or you're at your senior years, life costs, they would be higher, the premium would be higher, and you would have to pass a medical exam in most circumstances. So life insurance strategy in retirement, one useful thing about life insurance if you're older is the tax saving element. If you want to preserve, if you're wanting to save some potential tax advantages, it's good to have a life policy in place because there's tax advantages to purchasing a life policy. When the people who are going to benefit from the policy receive it, your beneficiaries, the money that you're leaving for them is tax-free. With the legacy that you're leaving towards your family's wealth, and it's tax-free. Low cost if you purchase it before you get older, so it's a low-cost premium that you're paying. And then survivorship life insurance that you're leaving your survivors is tax-free. And you also want to buy insurance, life insurance, as a way to secure your own financial stability. In the case of whole life insurance or a universal life policy, they also offer cash value and investments. These types of policies, along with survivorship life insurance policies, also offer the potential for borrowing money from your life policy. And these are things that we're going to talk about in the next couple of weeks. So let me do a commercial really quickly on universal life. Will the life insurance policy that you purchase or buy today still work for you 10 years from now? It can if you select an option that can change when you do. Call Cheryl Williams at 630-217-2759 to see how you can customize a universal life policy from Country Financial to protect what you have today and fit your lifestyle in the future. Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company and Country Investors Life Assurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. For cost and complete coverage details, contact Cheryl Williams. Then there's the whole life commercial here. When it comes to protecting the people you love, you want that protection to last a lifetime. A whole life insurance policy from Country Financial can help you do just that. Take the first step towards protecting your family today by calling Cheryl Williams at 630-217-2759. She will help you understand the types of benefits offered with whole life insurance. Life insurance policies issued by Country Life Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois. For cost and complete coverage details, contact Cheryl Williams. Well, this was a good introduction today to why you may want to consider purchasing a life insurance policy. Like I said, the next time we're together live, we'll be talking about term life policies and what is all involved in those types of policies and why you would want to purchase that. So next time we'll go there. Thank you for joining me today for our time here on gmap1.com. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I said something that benefited you. And please join us next Thursday. We'll be airing possibly this one again, or we'll be recording another segment live. Cheryl Williams, Country Financial in Grays Lake, Illinois. Please join me or click on the country logo here on GMAP1 to go to my website. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
You save it.
So you buy stuff with it.
I put it in my piggy bank. You can like buy a house, save it to buy your car, give it to charity, save it for college, put them in the bank.
It won't always be new. It won't always be clean. It won't always be flawless. But it'll always be yours. So how do you know it'll be protected? To solve the big challenges of tomorrow, take simple steps today. When you're ready to start, we're ready to help with auto insurance. Get started at countryfinancial.com/simple-steps.
You know, you see fires on TV all the time. You don't understand what the families are really going through until you've lived it. You're just standing there literally watching everything that you knew as your childhood, just the love in your home, and it's just going up in flames and there's nothing you can do about it.
I asked her in the event that there was a tragedy or something happened, how would they rebuild? What would they do? And I think that's when it registered with her that they wouldn't be able to.
My parents had no mortgage, so they thought they needed no insurance. This was the time that we needed it. I just would have never dreamed. Thank goodness for Judy. She convinced me that we needed homeowners insurance. The morning after the fire, I called Judy. And she's like, you don't worry about a thing.
So I got up to the Ramey household. I sat with her mom, and she cried. I cried. But I told her that things were going to be okay. Country would take care of her.
Judy and Country Financial were 100% put into our lives for a reason. We could have never afforded to build back another home like Country Financial has built. And I'm so thankful for that, truly.
Thank you so much.